Hi, my name's Micah. I just came out of the shower, and this is still on my mind. So, we're gonna take a break from our chaotically scheduled programming of gaming and talk about a small little bit that I saw in Mudahara's video, or some of you know as someordinarygamers video that he put out today, which as I'm recording this, it's June 20th. So it hasn't been out for very long since I watched it. I watched it like 3 hours after it was originally posted. And like, it is about Twitch, but like we all know that Twitch has been fumbling the ball for a while now. And I can say that as a Twitch affiliate, I've been keeping tabs on stuff because of that. So, you know, I'm not out of the loop. So even though his video is like mostly about Twitch in a way, I'm more focusing on like other details that I noticed in the video. So we're gonna switch screens for a second. Yeah, so we've got Mudahara. He's predominantly talking about Twitch here, but as I said, I'm going to be focusing on some different aspects. If you want to watch the whole video for context, you can. I'm not going to go through that because this is his content, so I would rather not steal from him, if that makes sense. Okay, where is it?
Again, nobody expected Kick to come out of nowhere and just absolutely become a market competitor out of nowhere. See, the $100 million deal that xQc signed pretty much fired up the biggest red flag in the entire internet space to every US federal agency and company out there, just because now they have to look at this website and wonder, oh shit, how are they paying $100 million deals? How are these deals going through? How did Twitch suddenly get a market competitor overnight?
Yeah. Gee, how did that happen? Well, he mentions in his video that Kick, the owner of Kick, is predominantly a casino owner, first of all, so there's that. The house always wins. And outside of that, it's also funded by a bunch of cryptocurrency, which if you have more than 2 brain cells, you know that all of that is a scam, and it's essentially fraud, but legal fraud. Legal. Allegedly. Just, that's, basically my opinion on it. But allegedly, it's legal fraud and a scam. But that's why I'm personally probably not ever going to have anything to do with Kick, is because I don't agree with any of that stuff and I have no interest. And there's really not a better competitor for Twitch other than YouTube, but that's only if YouTube actually gets its shit together when it comes to live streaming, which it has yet to do so far. Outside of that, there's also what he says about Pokimane here, which I find to be, something I wanted to put a pin in, because, first of all, why are you getting any sort of technology knowledge or wisdom from Pokimane? She's a Twitch streamer, and as far as I'm aware, she doesn't do anything else other than play video games. So I don't think she really has a lot of knowledge on technology to really say anything about it, unlike Mudahara, who I judge to be a more valuable and reliable source because he actively is talking about it and researching it all the time. So he clearly has more knowledge on the subject than Pokimane, but I just like how he basically calls her an idiot in this video, because from my perspective of Pokimane, and this is coming from someone who's barely watched, I don't even think I've watched anything of hers. I've just seen clips of her that have come from various controversies that she's been in, okay? I basically know nothing about her. And I don't really care to either. She comes across as somebody who seems very self-righteous, a know-it-all, and thinks that she could possibly be above a lot of people, which I don't think she necessarily means to come across that way, but that's exactly how she comes across to me, so I have no interest. But I like that he basically calls her an idiot in this next part here.
A serious market competitor. Now, to be honest, there's been some streamers who have said that This is ultimately just funneling back into Twitch
Some streamers being Pokimane, that's the only one he directly calls out. I don't know if there's any others, but it's basically Pokimane.
anyways. Pokimane came with one of the wildest takes that I've ever imagined, and I wanted to play it for you because it's actually so easy to debunk. Let's listen to this one real carefully.
Keep doubting Kick, it's already taken over. Fire emoji. Respectfully, people that say stuff like this, you don't understand that Kick makes Twitch money. Like, Kick is using Twitch's services.
Yeah, they're using Amazon Web Services, not Twitch Web Services. Those are two separate things. Twitch is a company Amazon bought in their holdings. Twitch actually pays Amazon a discounted rate to use the same web services Kick does. If anything, Amazon might like Kick more because they're getting a bigger piece of the pie. In reality, if Kick succeeds, it's actually so bad for Twitch, because let me explain something right now. Any moment, some fucking executive from Amazon could get off of their ass, stop doing the line of coke, and walk down over to Twitch and say, hey, listen, you guys aren't really all that profitable to us. Your technology, however, is. So if we can just, like, sell that to individual sites wanting to host their own streaming websites, we're down with that. As long as you're using Amazon Web Services, they don't give a shit. Hell, from what I understand, their largest competitor in the video rental, like, video space is Netflix. And guess who do you think Netflix uses? AWS. Okay, at the end of the day, there's another reality too that comes into it, which is one that Pokimane's going to lead us down.
Fuck you, ad.
And if Twitch really wanted, they could just stop giving these services to Kick. But right now, they're just sitting back like, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, they can't really not give services to Kick. There's two reasons for that. First reason is, A, there would be a serious brand risk for Amazon if all of a sudden everyone in the enterprise space was like, shit, we want to start a video streaming website, but don't go to Amazon. Their panties get in a fucking bunch. And all of a sudden, they just cancel services to people who are even entering their space.
Essentially, it would be a PR nightmare that would just shoot themselves in the foot. So, ultimately, Pokimane doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Am I surprised? No. Am I surprised that she sounds really confident as she blatantly spews complete and utter misinformation? No, I'm not surprised by that either. People are really good at that. But I just find it super amusing that he just essentially calls her an idiot because she just puts her foot in her mouth and talks about shit that she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. So, that I thought was pretty funny and thought deserved a bit more attention outside of the whole Twitch's basically doomed sphere conversation that everyone has been having. And then, in regards to, like, what he brought up for xQc, I had a little side note about xQc too, because I don't really like the guy either. I'm not someone who watches his content. I've only seen him in regards to, like, anything that has anything to do about him, like controversies or, like, this newest $100 million deal that he got. But, like, I don't consider him to be that great of a person either, because he is a slob. Like, he actively there are clips on the internet of him having his stream room a complete and utter disaster. Like, don't get me wrong, mine's not a fucking great either. Like, it's a mess. There's parts of it that you can't see that is a mess, other than, like, over here. But that's mostly because that is in regards to my boyfriend's hobby, and he grows plants. Hence the two grow tents on either side of me. Those are for my boyfriend's hobby. That's in relation to that. And as for that chair back there, that is the old cursed chair that I used to sit on for my streaming before I got this bad boy. But that's the extent of it. Like, that's how messy this room is. And it's not that messy. But xQc, whatever. Yeah, xQc. His room has been an absolute disaster. And the only way it can get that way is if you, A, let it, and B, if you're mentally ill enough to let it get that bad. And as someone who has been mentally ill enough to let it get so bad, I can, like, I'm not going to say it's easy to get out of that, because it's not, but you definitely have to put the work in. And it's gross. How can, like, really? You're making $100 million deals, but you can't clean up the space that you record in. You can't clean up your house. Like, what's the point of all that money if you're not gonna at least hire someone to clean up your fucking house, for Christ's sake? Like, come on. I don't have a lot of respect for the guy. And it's mostly because he is a slub, but also because every single, like, clip or piece I've seen of him has just made him out to be such an ignorant asshole. And it's like, I'm not surprised that an ignorant asshole is making a lot of money, but at the same time, I'd love it if a lot more people who actually made money were smart and educated and could present themselves nicely enough. Like, I'm in my PJs. I just came out of the shower, whatever. But I'm also not making a lot of money on the internet, and I don't see that happening to me anytime soon, if ever. So, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be nice if a lot more people on the internet actually weren't trash. I guess that's basically my point. I want more people to actually be like Mudahara or Jacksepticeye or Markiplier or something along those lines. I'm sick and tired of seeing all these people that are getting famous or who are already famous and have been for a while just be complete and utter nonsense. They're all a bunch of nonsense. They're all a bunch of idiots. And I'm fucking sick of it. So, it'd be great if we could get some better people to look up to. I guess that's basically my little rant. So, yeah. Now we can go back to our chaotically scheduled gaming. And hopefully I won't have an instance where I want to have a off-the-cuff rant about influencers and streamers and other famous people on the internet that could potentially get me into hot water, because that's not really my jam. We can leave that for, like, other YouTubers that give a shit about that stuff, because it sure ain't me. But yeah, peace out. Have a good day or night, depending on where it is where you are. And for fuck's sakes, clean your room.